Well, hey guys, it's Josh here, just checking in. Obviously, we are continuing the Window Manager series, and as a result, we are using we're looking at Wayland compositors. We're working our way through this. Last week I looked at the LabWC, and previously I did take a look at Hyperland. Now, obviously, both of those are wonderful compositors. But when it comes down to like standard, this is what you get when you're using a tiling window manager. It is undisputable that i3 is popular, and it's popular for a reason. Now, i3 it's not my personal favorite. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest fan of like the pseudo manual dynamic tiling aspects of it. It's not as manual as like something like say Herbslift WM or something else. I actually don't know that many manual tilers, to be honest with you. But but when it comes down to the Wayland landscape of like these minimum viable graphical environments, it's undisputed that Sway has done the largest contribution towards that landscape. So as a result, today we're looking at Sway. And I haven't done anything besides set a wallpaper, and I have been tinkering with the configuration. If you've been watching my dot files for a while, you know that I do have a Sway configuration. Yeah, and yes, this is a Gen 2 video. We've got to show that. But anyways, let's just look at this here. This is the Sway configuration. If you've configured i3, this looks very, very familiar to you, because Sway is wanting to make the transition from Xorg to Wayland as easy as possible, and the Sway developers are big fans of i3 to begin with. So as a result, you can just about, I'm not gonna say that you can, but you can just about copy paste your i3 config into your Sway config, and it'll work. They do have like a whole guide on it and everything. So tell you what, let's open up Firefox here, and I think it's swaywm.org. And then let's hop over to resize mode, make this a little bit bigger here, just a little bit. But yeah, you can see that they have a wonderful website of swaywm.org. But like their biggest thing that I see here with Sway, first of all, is that their documentation could be a lot better. i3 just basically, so I have to jump between like Sway documentation and i3 documentation for looking at some of these guys here. But one thing that they have is a complete i3 migration guide, and they sit here and they say that yes, there are some differences here. i3 message is now Sway message, i3 lock is Sway lock, i3 nagbar is now Sway nag. And then you're not calling X at DPMS force off, you're using Sway idle timeout, or Sway message output DPMS off, and so on. And they have this wonderful mentioning of a couple utilities like Dunst, which by the way, Dunst does work on Wayland. X-Back, like you should be using brightness, CTL, Fe. Well, I'll talk about some image viewers and wallpaper setters, but yeah, Sway is pretty interesting. Obviously, I much prefer the dynamic tilers myself, so I am using an auto tiling script, which basically does, well, right now it's not actually working. So let's give this a restart. Nope. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like some of the things here with Sway, so I'm still relatively early days in it. Even though like I've had this configuration that's been present in my dot files for a while, we're still working on it. Like for an example, I've only got 3 workspaces to work with. I can't figure out how to get it to spawn more, because for some reason it seems to hard limit me to 3. So like right now, I can't jump to a workspace 4. I have a workspace 1, 2, and 3 because I have 3 monitors, so it's going to put a workspace on every single monitor. But what I want is to have more workspaces. But I've done several changes here to see if I can get it worked out, and I think I'm just way stupid right now. So we're gonna have to do a bit more googling on it to see if I can get this figured out, because 3 workspaces. I know I'm not like the fan that Matt is of workspaces, where he runs like 24 to 36 workspaces. I want more than 3. Like my biggest excuse for running window managers is the workspaces. So I obviously want more than 3. So, but right now I'm working with just 3, and it kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm working through this. Like, I've got a couple floating rules here, and I've got some stuff for like Rofi, because I am using Rofi, the Wayland fork of Rofi. So I've got my application menu, my power menu, my Cheaty search menu, my Bluetooth. We're working our way through it. If you guys need to know like more about like my Rofi scripts, I'm really just using. I really just went to like the Rofi GitHub page, and I just looked at all the scripts that they have, and I'm just using those. It just works out of the box with the Rofi Wayland fork. On Gen 2, Rofi is going to be the Rofi Wayland fork is, I think it's in Guru. It's either in Guru or Wayland Desktop. I can't remember where I'm pulling it from. I think it's in Guru. If you're on Arch Linux, you wanna pull in the Rofi dash, I think it's Elbon dash Wayland fork, and you want to pull in the Git package rather than the release package, because the binary package for it is it's kind of broken. So just pull the Git package. And honestly, Rofi is a very simple project. It doesn't take that long to compile. Like, and I use Gentoo, and you know, I might be joking about it. I might be joking, but let's just do a sudo emerge tech a. It's GUI apps Rofi dash Wayland, and I'll tell you what, let's just recompile Rofi here just real quick. And you know, it's gonna sit there calculate dependencies. Let's go ahead and compile this. I'm doing this without Ccache, by the way. So, you know, obviously it's gonna be more than just like 2 seconds and you're done, but that's bearable. That is completely bearable for most people. So I think it's fine. But yeah, of course, because I'm coming from DWM land, I did change a couple things. Like I do the Savage thing. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, I know you don't like this, but I use Super Shift C to kill Windows. I apologize ahead of time, Matt. But you know what? Fuck you. It's my desktop. And I've got brightness controls. Well, I had brightness controls in here. I'm still working on like some audio controls. It's been a while since I've actually used media keys on a keyboard. I'm sorry. Like this might not be the best way to do it. And of course, I don't have PA Mixer on the system, so I don't even know why this is here. I should actually just like you know, comment that out, so maybe one of these days I can get around to working it. I'm using Grim and Slurp for the screenshots, But let's talk about like why I'm not the biggest fan of this window manager to begin with. So obviously, when you saw me talk about like the auto tiling script, this is a tiling window manager, and until I tell it to go somewhere else, it's going to open all these terminals in a vertical split. So what I have to do is I have to open a terminal, manually declare. So in this case, I'm going to hit Super V, which should give me a horizontal split. And I can do, and then I believe I rebound this to like Super B to declare it back to a horizontal split. And of course, the cat just jumped on the monitor stand. So sorry about the shake. But you know, it's not like a truly dynamic layout. But the big advantage is that, say if I'm on this one, and let's just say that I'm watching my system resources. This one, we're checking our GPU, because you know we're expecting to be like doing some work with the GPU because we're recording a video right now, and one of these days I'll get my password right, I swear. But yeah, you can see that I'm doing that. So, and then tell you what, let's open up another one. Let's curl out wttr.in and you know, check the weather of whatever place this is. You can see obviously my windows don't quite are all kind of like pseudo wonked up, but I can do Super Shift, and my movement keys are Vim keys, so HJKL. I can do Super Shift L, and I can put this window generally wherever I want. So like I can put it right here, move it, And then I can grab this window. I do need to make my borders bigger. These skinny blue borders, they're just not working, or like I just need to change it for the default blue color. Let's just open up another window here for the sake of example. But yeah, like it's pretty cool how easily I can move these windows around. So and you know, that's probably like my favorite aspect of it. But my biggest thing, and I know that this is like first world issue Josh, I'm used to like minimum viable window manager, not gonna lie. My favorite window manager is still DWM. I ran DWM solid for like a very long time, and I've spent more time in DWM than any other window manager. And I'm only used to having DWM, only self-declare 11 different keybinds. Sway by default has way more keybinds, so working through my configurations on this thing, we've hit a couple walls, but we're working through it. But you know what's my impression of Sway? It's working, and honestly, like Sway seems to have a lot better of a XDG desktop portal integration than like LabWC did or River did, which we're going to be looking at River here in the next video, or like the next window manager video. But honestly, I'm not exactly hating Sway. I'm just not really preferring it. So, but we're still kind of just jumping around just to see what generally things I like. But you know, the wonderful thing about Gentoo is that we have plenty of options for window managers, especially with when you know I can spell. We've got quite a few options here when it comes down to like Wayland compositors. So what I'm doing is I'm just calling EIX to search out stuff, and then I'm looking for everything that is declared in the GUI WM package or packages. You can see we've got Cage. Cage break is something that I'm pseudo curious about, because you know I've always been curious about rat poison, but I've never actually been man enough to actually try it. So we might look at Cage break. We got DWO, which is like DWM but for Wayland. Game scope is just for Steam. I mean, I understand that's a little bit more than Steam, but it's basically just Steam. But you know, we got options that we're looking through, and we're gonna be looking at more of them here in the future. But you know, in the meantime, this is just a quick little video here, just discussing Sway. If you want to know like the more advanced configurations of Sway, Brody Robertson actually has a couple videos about Sway that are just like actually awesome, like configuring monitors and stuff. I'm still working on like figuring out window rules. Sway has already, and this is in like the last 12 hours, because you know I'm recording this the morning after distro hacking. I already think I prefer Sway over Cage for my home theater setup. Because you know I have figured out that things are a little bit simpler, and you know, sometimes on your home theater computer you want to have more than one application. Even though you know Cage is really nice. Cage, if you don't know, Cage is a dedicated kiosk, which I can't get compiled on Gentoo right now because some weird patches and built against old WL roots that Gentoo's not even serving right now. But it's fine. It's fine. But anyways, guys, I'm going to step out here. If you need to get in contact with me, there's a contact link in the description, because I know you're all stalkers. So you just go to 10leej.com/stalker. If you don't know what I just said, it's like the second or third link in the description, I swear. But I'm out of here, and I'm going to go bash my head up against the wall of a Wayfire configuration and see if we can actually post a video about that, because you know somebody actually requested.